It seems lately that things keep getting harder for a lot of people without much hope of relief. Prices are rising, grocery prices are out of control, and the future seems uncertain. It seems impossible to get by on a low income, let alone be able to save money. I lived on a low income for many years and now live on one income while I stay home with my children. Over the years, I have tried many things to save money. There's many areas where we can focus on saving money. It may seem crazy to some, but the money you can save from these things can be worth it when things are tight. Making coffee or tea at home. This seems obvious and a simple choice, but the constant line at the Timmy's or the Starbucks says otherwise. If just one person in your family forgoes coffee and breakfast at the coffee shop every day, that can save up to $1,600 per year alone. Most people living frugally know that you can give pretty much everything a second life. I have washed out milk bags and used them to pack sandwiches or snacks for when we're out. And Ziploc bags that I've used are all kept and washed out constantly. Everything can be repurposed. Old clothes and towels can be kept for rags. We also keep any scrap wood or pieces of construction material because we find we always find a use for it. You can also reuse water to save on the sewage bill. I've done this in the past where after a bath or a shower, the water would be saved to flush the toilet. I've actually washed laundry in the bath or shower with me as well, but I don't really recommend that one, unless things are super tight. Dishwater can also be saved to water plants if the dish soap is biodegradable. You can also save water that you use to steam vegetables to water your plants. My mother oftentimes will use old tea bags and soak them in water and water her plants because it makes great fertilizer. Look for a cheap phone plan. The bigger phone companies overcharge. So many people are paying $100 or more per month for a phone plan. I found a secondary phone provider who has rates down to $12 per month. Secondary phone providers can have a way better rate, so shopping around is a must. At that time, I also gave up data on my phone because we had Wi-Fi and because I could also go out and find Wi-Fi at different restaurants or the library. At one point, I gave up having a phone entirely and we relied solely on my husband's phone for any appointments or any phone needs. You could also consider giving up Wi-Fi in the home. It's a luxury and not a necessity, especially if you get a great data plan on your phone, then you shouldn't have to worry about Wi-Fi. If you have a good data plan, it could be only $40 a month, where Wi-Fi costs about $100 a month, or possibly more depending on where you are. And as I mentioned before, so many places right now have free Wi-Fi, coffee shops, restaurants, and the library especially. I do consider that if you work from home, this may not work as a tip for you, but for many, it will. You may also consider moving to a more affordable area. This may even be moving to a different state or a different province. For us, when we were first starting out, buying a house in the area where we were just was not feasible. So we broadened our search and found an area with a much lower price point. For what we could have spent in our first area, we would have only been able to afford a condo or a townhouse. But by moving areas, we were able to afford a fully detached house with a yard. This was important to us as we were just starting a family and wanted a yard for our children to play in. The house was older and needed a decent amount of work, so for the past 8 years, we have been steadily working on it, finding free or used items to upgrade. Moving areas can be so beneficial and really make a big difference if you are working on a lower income. Learning skills and being handy is also a necessity. I've had a few discussions with a subscriber here about how beneficial it is to have a handy husband, but being handy can be for anybody. Both my husband and I are constantly learning new skills, so between the two of us, we can do anything. But being able to fix things is hugely cost effective. We recently had our gutters rip off under the weight of all the snow that we've gotten, which revealed some rotten wood under the boards. Instead of paying $10,000 for someone to come fix it, my husband is able to fix it himself for about $500 to $1,000, which saves us a massive amount of money. You could also consider giving up a vehicle if you are a 2-vehicle household. This can save a ton of money on maintenance, insurance, and gas. If you're in the area with good public transport, it's possible to go without a vehicle entirely. Being able to take out vehicle payments, repairs, gas, all of that out of your budget saves a wonderful amount of money. So if it's something that you can do, then it's incredibly beneficial. Thrift everything. I very rarely buy new. I recently went to the thrift store to purchase a couple of shirts, and the things that they had there were very good quality still, and great brands for very cheap. Garage sales during the summer and church rummage sales are also amazing places to find a deal. Garage sales, when you go right around 3 o'clock when people are just starting to shut down, so many people will start giving away things for free just so that they don't have to bring them back in again. So doing a quick tour around your town on a Saturday around 3 o'clock can reveal a treasure trove of free items. The next one might be controversial for some, but you can go without air conditioning. Our old house did not have air conditioning in it, and when we came to our new house, the air conditioner died the first year we were here. So we just went without it. The extra electricity bill does not make it worth it for maybe tops 20 days out of the year that we would have needed the air conditioner. Our bodies acclimatized to the weather this way. We also made sure that we prepared our house for the warm days by opening our windows at night, closing them in the morning to trap in the cool air, closing all of our drapes so that the sun didn't come in. These are really great tricks to keep your house cool without using air conditioning. For many, it is a luxury, not a necessity. If you have any space at all, even just a patio, grow some food. Many vegetables can be grown in a container on a patio. You can also grow lettuce and sprouts indoors all year round. And by starting things from seeds, it only costs a few cents per plant. And plants like tomatoes, peppers, and zucchini can produce a large amount of food. You can also keep your eye out at garage sales for these trays. A lot of people will give them away for free. I've had mine for years now, so it's definitely something that you can reuse over and over again. And once you've learned how to garden, you can also learn to save your own seeds so that you don't have to buy seeds in future. I have an entire video on that if you're interested, and I will link it in the description box. And if you have the room, you can also use this as a bit of an odd job or extra income. In the past, I have done probably 200 extra plants than what I need, and then I'd sell them for $4 to $5 per plant. So I was able to bring in a lot of extra money just by planting more seeds. And it wasn't that I did have a lot of extra room, but I did have plants all over the house. They were everywhere, but they were only there for a few weeks while they were maturing, and then I was able to sell them. Working with a low income, you oftentimes have to get very creative with how you deal with things or what you're doing to make things work for yourself. Lastly, you can learn how to shop smart and make a lot of budget meals so that big grocery budget can be pared down a little bit. I have an entire playlist on budget meals that I will link in the description box for you if you're looking for ideas. I also have an entire list on frugal living hacks that I'm going to link here, so make sure you check that out as well. Stay safe, everybody. Save those pennies, and I'll see you all next time.